Welcome to the Do You Ever Wonder podcast. Ever find yourself wondering about the world's biggest topics? Join your host, Mike Haltman, CEO, board chair, and all-around deep thinker, as he dives into real estate, investing, national security, self-improvement, dating, networking, finance, and so much more. Expert guests, real conversations, no limits. Hit subscribe and get ready for insights, surprises, and conversations that will make you think. The Do You Ever Wonder podcast starts now. Welcome to the Do You...
Oh, that's live TV, boy. Anything can happen. But yes, my name is Mike Haltman. This is the Do You Ever Wonder podcast. From the intro, we do cover dating. We've had dating, but today's not really about dating. Today is about a much more interesting subject, and that's personal protection. So today we have Jennifer Shimmel on, and she is associated with the brand and the product Urban Chic. Urban Chic makes personal protective wear, and they blend fashion with personal ballistic protection. And their tagline, I believe, is safety without sacrificing style. And I can attest to that, as you can see from my background. So just looking at a few statistics. So, nationally, the violent crime rate is 3.8 per thousand. And then in New York City, it's 4.5 per thousand, running up to Chicago, which is 6.7 per thousand citizens. Now, that does not sound like a lot of people. It does not sound like the world is a dangerous place. But if you're one of those people, you would want to have some level of protection. It reminds me of surgery. Minor surgery is the surgery your neighbor has. Major surgery is the surgery that you have. And it's no different than what we're going to talk about today, which are luxury style. And you can see the picture above me. They're bags and I'll let Jennifer explain it a little bit better than I did, but they're stylish bags that convert into bulletproof vests. And Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's my pleasure.
Yes. Yes, that's exactly right. We are the product that we hope you never have to use, but you have it just in case.
Absolutely. So now, let's talk a little bit about the inspiration. I know the founder, Tim Walsh. I know that he does have a different line of work, which is the law, but I know this is a passion product for him. And describe a little bit, what was the inspiration? What made him say, I know that there's a danger out there, and I want to address it.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, so Tim Walsh, our owner, founded the company in 2018, and I think it was really out of an idea that there's nothing that doesn't look tactical, that doesn't look like a bulletproof vest on the market. There's nothing that's actually a really fine leather product that also can protect you. So that's really what he set out to do, making it lightweight, making it stylish, making it really sourced from fine leather. Once you have this product, you can smell it, you can feel it. It's very, very nice leather and suede, and nothing really existed like that. But also his patent is really what sets us apart. So the way that you deploy the bag with a strap over your neck and over your waist, that's what makes the bag so special, because it's not like you're just holding up a panel to a bullet, which it could ricochet. It's actually going to absorb the blow once it's on you deployed like this. So that's really what he wanted to set something apart, with something that's very fashionable, high quality, but also has this level 3A protection.
Right. So now you talk about the feel and the smell. Tim actually donated a bag for my charity golf outing. So
Mhm.
I did have an opportunity to see the bag, feel the weight of the bag, and I know that you guys have gotten a patent for a Kevlar panel that only weighs 17 ounces, which
Correct.
is, when you think about, I mean, I've been to Quantico, the Marine Corps base, and I've seen those types of materials are typically very heavy. You know,
Yes.
and how did you design a Kevlar plate that goes into a bag that is going to be carried by men and women? How is it designed? How is it created?
I can't take the credit for that because that was all Tim, but he really set out to source it so that it weighs as little as it could because especially women, we carry a lot in our bags. So we didn't want to add more weight to
Agreed.
bags for men or women. But we really wanted it thin but still have that higher protection level. So he sourced those. The Kevlar bags are made in the US. The leather is sourced from South Africa. So he found a partner to, create those and so that it's flexible. It's not a super, I don't know if you noticed on yours, it's not a super hard panel. It's actually a flexible weight panel that fits in there. So the bag still has some give to it. Um, so he sourced that for his patent. And that probably took the longest time to make sure that that's exactly what he wanted to put in that bag. Lightweight, flexible, but still had level 3A protection, which is basically up to most handguns.
So I know your patent has DuPont in the name.
Yes.
How did what's the association with DuPont? How did they get involved? Or is Kevlar just a DuPont
That's who,
product?
correct. Yes. So
Okay.
they are the creator of that. And so that's who Tim went through because that made the most sense for our particular bag. And our bags are then made around those. So some people ask, can I just buy the insert and use it in my own bag? And the answer is no, because our patent is our bag with that specific
Right.
insert to make sure that it covers the whole surface area and it's deployed correctly.
So why does Urban Chic think that nobody ever went in this direction before? Because, listen, I watch the news. I'm a big proponent of national security and personal security, and I know that the world is a dangerous place. Why do you guys think this never came up before?
I honestly don't know. I'm not sure if maybe people just think that there was no way to do it with style. I don't know if people knew how small that insert could get. I really don't know the answer to that, and I'm surprised by it. I know that some people, there's companies out there that's done backpacks or even kids backpacks in the past, which is very unfortunate. But there's nothing that actually you wear like this and it turns into a bulletproof vest. I think some people maybe took the route of personal security, they would actually wear a full bulletproof vest. But sometimes that's just not possible when you're just running to the grocery store or you're running, out with your kids. You don't want to wear a bulletproof vest. So you have this as an option.
I think that if you spent your time wearing a bulletproof vest as a mom and your kids didn't have protection, I think that'd be somewhere wrong. Not
Yeah.
to protect your
Yeah.
kids and just protect yourself. Plus, I think
Absolutely. Yeah.
it would cause a lot of anxiety, I think, for your kids if they see mommy
Yeah.
putting on a bulletproof vest.
Definitely. Definitely.
Although
Yeah.
I do have
Absolutely.
I have a new grandson, and I look at what's
Well,
going on. Oh,
congratulations.
thank you. 9 months old, cutest, obviously the
Oh.
cutest baby in the world. But I look what's going on in the world, and I worry. I think about
Yeah.
what he may have to face. Whether it's through anti-Semitism or just the massive violence on the streets. Uh, do you
Yeah.
target any specific? I mentioned Chicago, which is I think they had 37 shootings this weekend. So,
Yeah.
do you target specific areas, or is it more urban related, or really anyone?
I think it's products for everyone. We've always targeted basically everyone. The gun community is very interested in the product, for sure. I think I was surprised. I think when we first started marketing this, I thought that it would be people who were more afraid of guns, but it's actually a lot of gun carriers and actually people who have their concealed carry that like to have both. So we actually came up with a holster for inside of the bag, a
I saw that.
universal holster that you can add on. So people who carry can have it be a carry bag and a personal protection. But
Absolutely.
as far as marketing, it's really for everyone. People like to buy it for their wives, for a huge population is when their kids go to college. We've had a lot of people buy it for their daughters going to college,
Really?
whether that's in more of an urban area. Right. Because they're leaving home for the first time.
Sure.
That's the unfortunate world we live in, and that's what people tend to market for sure.
Well, it's interesting. I know I have three kids. 34 is my oldest, and they both my two oldest are girls. They both live in the city. I bought my oldest one. Actually, I bought both of them pepper spray, and unless it's illegal, and then
Of
I bought
course.
them something else, and door jams, and my oldest daughter, she doesn't carry any of this stuff. And, I'm wondering,
Mhm.
because the young people today are a little bit different, whether parents buy these things and the kids just poo-poo it and really don't
Yeah.
believe in it or carry it.
Yeah. Yeah. I could definitely see that, but if it gives the parent peace of mind, then hopefully, like I said, it's a product that you hope you don't have to use.
100%. And my middle daughter after college, and she's 32 now, but she lived at home while she was saving money to live in the city. And every day she would leave to take the train to the city, and I would kiss her on the forehead and say, "Have a vigilant day." And I think that's a terrible thing to have
Yeah.
to do to kind of, pass along your anxiety about the world to other people. But, it's a necessity. You can't cover
Yes.
your head in the sand.
Yeah. And I'm a new mother this year, and
Congratulations.
I
So you
thank
have
you.
the cutest baby in
And
the world.
I do. I have to say, I
Okay.
definitely do.
All right. Fair enough.
Just like every mother thinks.
Of
But
course.
yeah, you don't know how that feels until you have a child and then you realize, like you said, that's the perfect way. You don't want to pass your anxieties to them, but it's all that you think about is protecting them and protecting yourself to be there for them. So it's definitely I think parents definitely has been our biggest um sales, I guess, because and also husbands for their wives, because I think that they want to protect people in their lives and they're
100%.
willing to do that.
100%. So let me
Yeah.
ask you this. My wife, I have a shotgun in my house, and
Hmm.
it's not a loaded shotgun. So my wife
Hmm.
always says, how are you gonna, someone comes in to kill us, now you have to ask them to wait to put your shells in the gun.
Right.
So my question is, anxiety runs high when you're in a crisis situation, and when anxiety runs high, sometimes your motor skills get a little screwed up.
Yeah.
How long does it take to put one of these on?
Like if you practice with we send a video with the one our bags,
Okay,
I would say it could be on you within 10 to 15 seconds.
okay,
It's two pull tabs and it just goes right around neck and waist. So it can be very, very quick.
and you would assume people who are buying it are motivated to
Yes.
practice a couple of times.
Yes.
I mean, so it's designed, I guess, if you're in a situation where you hear a gunshot,
Yes.
not
Right.
specifically that somebody's shooting at you, but
Yes.
you hear something and you
And hopefully you
okay,
can get it on and get out. You don't want to go into danger wearing it by any means, but
right.
it will hopefully, it just gives you that peace of mind.
Oh, 100%. So you say that your biggest market right now, or one of your biggest markets, are parents who have kids going to college. Now, sadly, we've seen situations where, and it's not a new situation, where executives have had bodyguards and protection, if you're at a certain level. Are you seeing executives, and I bring up the United Healthcare CEO, although this may not have helped him
Oh
since he
yeah.
was shot in the back, but that type of thing where you market to executives who want as much safety as they can get.
Absolutely. I mean that of course it could that's what I mean by it could really market to them. Teachers is another demographic that we of course always
Right.
because if you are in an unfortunate situation like that and you want to at least protect yourself so you can protect your classroom. Another big one is that we are just more getting into is actually, like you said, like bodyguards, maybe personal, private protection people that could carry it for themselves if they're protecting someone,
Right.
or also undercover units is a really big market that we're trying to break into right now because
Really?
if a cop was undercover, they could carry it back and then it's because they can't wear a vest. So that's one that we see very valuable. They have a little bit of a harder process of like getting in with them and selling to their units, but that could be huge because if you could probably carry, they carry by, taping a gun up to their leg or under a shirt, but you can't really wear a vest without being noticeable. So if there's like a woman undercover, um, they could have this as a protection.
Interesting. No, and that's a whole nother
Yeah.
market. The private detective industry, they could have,
Yes.
they drive people around. The company could buy three or four and just have one for each car where
Right.
everybody, the
Exactly.
executive could take care of themselves. That's great. Uh,
Yes.
so
Yes.
I was actually one of the things I wanted to ask you was who your perfect client would be, because obviously, marketing these things can be difficult. And I would imagine, tell me a little bit about the whole marketing landscape. What
Yeah.
outlets do you use? What trouble do you run into? How do you, how are you marketing this to the general public? How do I become aware?
hmm We've explored many different avenues with marketing. We've attended some in-person shows. SHOT Show is where we made a ton of connections. It's one of the biggest gun show in Las Vegas. We attended that for 2 years, made some really good connections in more of like the firearm industry, especially because women are breaking into that industry a lot more. And there's becoming more women-directed products. So everyone was super interested in this because I think when people first started making women products, it was like pink camo and like very tactical because they're like, I don't know how to make a women product, so we'll just
Yeah.
make it pink and they'll love it. But some women are like, I don't want that. So we had a lot of good feedback from that. One of our marketing, I guess, roadblocks has been the use of our keywords. A lot of big companies, Google, Facebook, Meta, all of those, they don't like to use the word bulletproof and even things like saving lives or personal protection. They get a little bit of a red flag about because they don't want to promise something like this without looking into it. So Google has blocked a few of our ads in the past, and that has been a bit of a challenge. But we really try to market to all industries and all places. Like we said, it could be a product for so many people. So we do focus on the firearm industry because I think they understand the most. They understand what level of protection it means. They understand all of that. But we even market to the moms and the teachers, and it really could be marketed to anyone. But I think that the firearm industry has been our most like they understand the need for it and has given us the most feedback.
So, my mind always goes to marketing and selling things. So, do you guys have an affiliate program where
Yes, we do. Yes,
you do?
absolutely.
Because it seems like
Yeah.
I was at a shooting range down in Florida. The place was huge. And, I can only imagine that they have 100, 200 people going in and out of there every day. And if I don't know if you have a display, a retail display, but, you know, it strikes me that if that store had a display of your bag, I think that would do very well. I think. I really don't know.
Yes. Yeah, we've had a couple local gun ranges reach out. We have an affiliate program, but we also have something where we can create like a digital shopping environment so that that gun range doesn't have to house all of our products. And we
Right.
have a QR code that they can scan and we can ship direct. We have a affiliate marketing with some influencers to where they get a specialized code and their followers get, 10% off, and then they get 5% of that. So
Right.
we do have that available. And we just launched actually a new one. So if anyone is interested in that, please, contact us, because we love to partner with people, because, well, our product being all e-commerce online, what you lack from that is you can see and you can read that it's all genuine leather, but you can't see and smell it until you
Right.
get it in the mail. So when you have an influencer say, "Oh my gosh, this smells so good and it can protect you," then people are more ready to buy it. So
So
we
which,
definitely are always interested in working with new influencers.
I always hear about influencers. I'm a little bit old to follow influencers, but which I know there's influencers in everything, whether it's fashion, beauty, movies, whatever. What influencers are your target influencer?
Yeah. Definitely style is like style and fashion bloggers would be amazing. That's kind of where we're marketing to right now. And then, of course, in the firearm space. So there's a lot of women right now in the firearm space that are kind of coming up in the industry and gaining
Right.
followers. And that's really awesome to see. And they help us a lot.
Right. No, that's great. I mean, this is a apolitical podcast for the most part, although people can usually guess which way I lean. But there are definitely a lot of women on TV, commentators, prognosticator, whatever, who have a big following. That would
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah,
That's terrific.
absolutely. Yeah.
That's great.
It
So,
really, anyone that believes in the product could be a good influencer to have.
and who doesn't believe in safety,
I know. Right,
personal
right.
safety?
Yeah.
But that being said, so I did mention in the beginning that Tim is involved with lawyering.
Yes.
What are there are no guarantees. Obviously,
Uh-huh.
you do incredible quality control. Your Kevlar is tested, and I think it can stop a 44 Magnum bullet.
Hmm. Yes.
What disclaim do you have to put disclaimers on?
Yes.
How does that work?
Yeah, so we have terms and conditions on our website that before you purchase the bag, you agree to.
Okay.
And then, of course, our patent breaks down the specifics of how the bag has to be worn in order to stop the bullet. I'm sure, and I know Tim can attest some more to the legal side of things, but I'm sure it says that there still, just like any disclaimer, there still could be some injuries, or if not, if you're wearing it and you get shot in the arm, of course it's not going to stop.
Right.
So that they
Correct.
give like a circumference of what it protects against you, and it depends on the person too. If you're a smaller person, bigger person, so it breaks down all of that, because of course we had to think of all of that for our website, because you can't say it's going to save your life and then you get shot, like you said, in the back and you're wearing it in the front.
Right.
So yeah,
So
there's definitely a lot of those.
so if I'm 6'6" and somebody is 5'10", how, I assume the straps adjust in order to put it over your
Yes,
vital organs. That's great.
correct. Yes.
That's great.
Yep.
So now,
Exactly right.
how was I guess there are, I know, are there ranges? Where are they tested? Like what did the testing look like?
Yeah, so obviously before we launched, all of the inserts were tested. And then since then, the bags, we've actually done a couple like marketing shoots at ranges. So those are on our website as well if you want to check those out, where you actually shoot it, you pull it back, and you see how it did not go through the bag. So
Right.
we did a couple of those since it launched to show people easily, this is how it works.
Have you learned of any real life situations where this bag has come into play and actually saved someone?
Not yet,
Thank
which, like
God.
I said,
Thank
that's a
God.
good thing. Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Um, Yes, absolutely. I think that I hope we never do. Truly. I hope that we save someone, but I hope that no one ever has to wear it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Yep.
so in the beginning, we talked about how the bag is safety without sacrificing style. So,
Yes.
who is your designer?
Tim designed them all.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he did.
what
Him and his partner designed them all before I was even in the picture.
really?
Um,
With
yes,
no
and right
no help
with the
from
team in South Africa where they sourced the leather. So,
wow.
Yeah, they did not have a professional stylist for these. And
Interesting.
you know what? I think and now since we've gotten some feedbacks, a couple things that are in the works is a nylon bag that's not leather because one, to bring down the cost, is someone that doesn't care about the real leather bag and they just want a bag like this.
Right.
We've been working on more of like a nylon unisex bag. So that's in the works too, which is really exciting. And I know we've gotten some feedback on an actual backpack or like a more of a messenger bag. So we are always incorporating some new styles based on people's feedback. But
Right.
right now, yeah, they created them themselves.
So, you had mentioned before that women put a lot of crap in their bag. How much
Yeah.
crap can the bag hold?
A lot, a lot. It can hold, especially our tote bag. It can hold, an iPad, a small laptop, and of course, like wallet. And we have some people use it as more of a diaper bag. It can fit a lot of stuff.
Really, diaper bag.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I could
yeah,
suggest that to my daughter.
yes,
Sh-
absolutely.
She's actually walking the streets of New York today.
Yeah,
Um, no, that's fantastic. So,
thank you.
other products, you said maybe a backpack, you have a holster. What
Yes,
other,
yep.
in the future, what other types of product do you have like what's the name of that department in a company where they develop new products?
Oh
Product
yeah.
development. Product development.
Yeah, the product development.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I think we're always taking feedback, really. Like we like audience to tell us what do you want to see in this bag. So the nylon was a big one. Some people were like, the leather's amazing, but I don't need a leather bag. I just want something that protects me. So that's why we kind of went back and we just have like a pre-sale going on for those more of like canvas nylon.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a big one. I think they are unisex bags, but a lot of the styles definitely gear more towards women. So I think men wanted more of like a messenger bag, backpack, something a little bit more masculine. So that's kind of in the works as well.
How does your demographic break down now, men to women? Mostly women?
I think it's mostly women that wear it, but it's mostly men that buy it for women in their lives.
So that can be a Mother's Day gift, although I guess that's
Oh
just
yes.
for the year. But
But yes, that's a big one.
yeah, I'm wondering how. So men are typically, and scratch that. That's too much of a generalization. But who worries more about safety, men or women? Do you know?
It's a good question. I'm not really sure. I think maybe
Well,
women for themselves, but men for the people in their lives.
I can tell you in my experience in my family, uh, most people don't think about protection. So it's up to someone to
Yeah.
really step out and take care of things. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let me ask you this: if I wanted to buy and I can move over, so that's the name.com, correct?
Yes, urbanchic.com, yep.
So now in the
With no vowels, spelled URBNCHC.
yes.
Yes.
So in the description, in the narrative that will accompany the episode, how do they reach you guys other than urbanchic.com, or is that just the best place to go if they want to contact you? There's a
Yeah,
contact
that
button.
yeah, there's a contact page, but you can also contact me at Jennifer at urbanchic.com
Okay.
and reach out directly to me and I'd be happy to assist with anything. And we also, like I said, on our website, we have an affiliate program, or you can reach us on Instagram, Facebook, or like I said, email me directly.
So last question, and thank you for that. But, are there
Yeah.
certain states, like a state like Florida, I would assume would be
Hmm.
fertile marketing grounds because it's very, it's red for the most part. I
Yeah.
mean, I was actually down at a Boca housing, one of those country clubs,
Mhm.
and I actually do see people who are not necessarily leaning right, who are definitely getting more into guns. And I've done episodes on this with anti-Semitism.
Mhm.
And, I think that people are becoming aware that self-protection is critical and
For everyone, right?
for everyone. And if you can find something like an urban chic bag that is not only usable, utilitarian, that's a good word. It's got utility, but it's also got a huge separate benefit for
Yeah.
people who use it. I think it's really important that people should take a look at it, and I
Yeah.
certainly will do my best to help you guys get the word out.
Thank you.
It's my
Thank you.
pleasure. And Jennifer, thank you for coming on.
Yes,
Uh,
thank you.
of course, I miss not seeing Tim, but that's okay.
And he was
That's
here in
okay.
spirit.
But hopefully, you'll come back on when there's some kind of a innovation or some kind of news to
Yeah.
tell, and we would love to talk to you again. So, thank
Oh,
you,
thank you. Well, no, we would love to come back. Thank you very much.
absolutely, and Godspeed.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. That's a wrap for this episode of Do You Ever Wonder? Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, and drop us a review. We'll be back soon with more insights, experts, and conversations that make you think. See you next time. Do you ever wonder where curiosity meets conversation?